Hello everyone and welcome back to Football Manager 2020 and the start of a new season in our campaign to become the greatest manager of all time. And I thought now that we've won the Champions League yet again, our fourth Champions League trophy, is that, or our fifth? I can't even remember. Fourth Champions League victory. I thought we should check in on our progress of overcoming Alex Ferguson, and you can see we are now seventh in the all-time Hall of Fame. We're ahead of the likes of Zinedine Zidane. It's my personal highest record in any save. You can see some other Mr. Giancaldos in this list, but I am up to seventh now, just behind Bob Paisley. I'm pretty sure we'll overtake him this season. We'll also probably take out Giovanni Trapattoni as well. Obviously a great manager in his day. And then it's on to Mourinho, Ancelotti, Guardiola, and of course Sir Alex Ferguson. Now, the real challenge here is that Ferguson is on twice as many points as I am on, mostly because of the number of Premier League titles he has. He has 13 Premier League titles and 3 Scottish titles to his name, and that's a huge number of domestic divisions. By comparison, his 17, I have 6. Most of the managers that are up there have got sort of 10 to their name. I'm lucky I've won more Champions League trophies than any of these managers. I think maybe Bob Paisley, how many did he win? 3. Obviously Zidane's won 3. Ferguson won 2. Guardiola's won 3, I think, or 2. 2 Champions Leagues. And Ancelotti as well also won a couple of Champions League titles. So what that means is that our seasons going forward need to get shorter and shorter and shorter, and obviously Spurs not an absolute top tier elite team, so I am tempted to go to potentially Bayern Munich or Juventus as soon as one of those jobs becomes available, because that would allow me to start to steamroll some of those league titles and focus on winning as many Champions Leagues as possible. We've shown we can take over struggling teams and turn them into European champions. We did it with Ajax. We've done it arguably even more difficultly. We've done it with Tottenham Hotspur, where we are now the champions of Europe. Now the key thing, I flipped through a lot of screens there. The key thing is that we are much stronger this season than I would say we were last season, and especially the year before that as well. See, I rejected a £20 million bid for Cazal. Absolutely derisory offer from them. But if we have a look at the transfer business, you can see I spent £184 million, and for once I've strengthened the positions that needed strengthening. Normally I just pile in on £200 million strikers, but this season we haven't even signed one striker. The real marquee signing this season is Christ Malungu. I've been trying to sign him for a little while. He's probably the best goalkeeper in the game, and he's only 22. He is a natural sweeper keeper, so we won't necessarily get the best out of him, but he's been slumming it away. And if you look at this record, 6.94 for a goalkeeper after 38 games, and he conceded 43 goals, but 10 clean sheets with Everton. Very much worth the money. He's going to put Onana on the bench and really start to strengthen up in that goalkeeper position. The other big signing was Piet Oumans, who's come in down the right flank. He's a natural winger. He's an exceptional player. He's 21. He's got room to develop. He won best player in the league in Portugal last season. And he's got a fantastic record in that average rating department. So I'm expecting him to do extremely well. Bit of competition for Ambere, who has been a little bit injury prone. And then the other big signing, Santiago Navarro, has come in as a replacement for Koulibaly. He was a steal, already valued at 34 million. We got him for 7.5. Not necessarily going to start every game, but a good rotation option. And finally, Zechariah Wilson has come in. He's a good English young central midfielder. He fits the club's vision. Not going to play a huge amount of games, but he will be a strong addition to the side. So that means that if we have a look at this game against Southampton today, we've got a strong team going out there. We've got Kane and Butman starting up front. We do have other players. Esposito's on the bench, not fully match fit at this point, so I'm going to let Butman start this one. We've got Jano as well, and Bere's on the bench, but Oumans is going to get his start on the right, Fati on the left. Bellingham and Daniel going to continue to be our linchpins in midfield. Bernard is just coming back to fitness, so it's going to be Gonçalves down the left, with Kenner and Navarro coming in for his debut today, pushing Diaz to the bench, and Cazal at right back, Malungu gets the nod in goal, and Onana drops to the bench, which is what I really wanted to see this season. But let's see how we can get on against Southampton. They're a team we should be beating reasonably comfortably, and just try to get our second Premier League title. I realised that last season was the first time in my career that I haven't won the league title. I've won it every single other season, but Fatty puts this one in, and Kane has just hit the crossbar, very close to a goal there. Harry Kane to get our season off to a beautiful start. He signed a new contract. At the end of last season he didn't want to sign one, but Oomans here with a corner, goes in, it's come out again. Bellingham back to Oomans, Butman's in there, it doesn't come to him, Daniel back in, and finally Southampton try to bring the ball away. Ugwu back to Irvine, being doubled up on, he goes back to the keeper Fernandes, now Casemiro, and he's tackled by Kane, and Kane has scored. He celebrates that new contract in style, his 250th league goal. He must be coming up on the Premier League record there. But we managed to pin him down. End of last season, he had no interest in a new contract. But at the start of this season, I checked in again, and he was happy to sign one. I don't know why he didn't want to sign one last season, but he signed it, and he's still scoring goals for us, the club captain. Ball over the top. Kane is in behind. He's got a player across the box. He's found Oomans, who's hit the crossbar, and Kane can't quite recover the loose ball on the rebound. But we've made a very good start to this game. 1-0 up, and absolutely pummeling Southampton in submission. Kane with a free kick, goes deep to Kenner. It's come out. Oomans is going to try and recover it. Instead it's played over. Gonçalves with the interception. Malungu in goal. I mean, the great thing about signing keepers is that if they're doing their job well, you never see them. So we're hoping not to see him. But Kane's got him behind here. He's got players over. He's hit the post. Number of times we've hit that woodwork 3 times in the first 15 minutes, in addition to a goal. Fernandes here throwing it out toward Prowse. He's got total freedom in central midfield. Lazaro tackled by Fatty, great determination. He plays it through to Kane in a good position, into Butman off the post, and it is now just cleared away. But a good start as Fatty heads this down to Bellingham. Ball over to Oomans, and again it grazes the top of the bar. I can't believe how many times we've hit the woodwork here. We need to be a little bit more accurate than we have been, but corner from Oomans goes in, and it has been headed in. It's an assist on his debut for Piet Oomans, and it's a headed goal for Noan Kenner as well, who does tend to score a few. I think he got almost up to double digits last season, but a good header. Navarro maybe should have kept that one out, but I'm not complaining. We're 2-0 up, and this looks like a good start to the season. You might remember last year we had a terrible start to this season, which ultimately, along with our little collapse at the end, as Navarro scores on his debut, 2 assists for Oomans and a goal for Navarro from the corner, gives him a perfect start to his European and English debut. Fantastic header at the near post, keeper nowhere near it, left flailing. But yeah, at the end of last season we had that wobble where we choked and gave up the title. But it was more the start of the season. We started really poorly, had to recover from almost mid-table to put on that title challenge, and really disappointed we couldn't win it, but we had so many opportunities to get the extra points or goals that we needed. We 3 teams finished level on points at the top of that league, but we weren't able to win it on goal difference, and just one more point would have won it for us. So we need a really strong start this season. Cesao on the attack, takes it past the defender, puts it in, it's cleared away. Daniel's out there. I mean, we definitely have the best team in the league, as Fatty heads that one over the top as well. We definitely have the best team in the league this season. Not just the best team, but the best squad in the league. You look at our bench, and I think all of those players would get into the starting 11 of any other team. So it just speaks to how powerful this squad is. And obviously, while I would be tempted to go to Juventus or Bayern if the jobs became available, if we can turn this Spurs side into a world-dominating team, then we might want to stay here for 2 or 3 years just to help us build up that points total as Lazaro heads that over the top. Because I think we probably need another 4 Champions League titles and another 6 league titles, so we're probably at least 5 seasons away from completing this series. And bearing in mind the new game comes out in not too long, as Butman is played in behind and it's saved. But the new game comes out in a few weeks, at least the demo does, and we'd be looking to start a new season and obviously play the new game. So we might need to speed up the number of games we play between episodes. It might mean that I don't show you all the highlights, I just pick select games and we really start to power through season after season. Free kick though for Harry Kane. He puts it in, he finds the top corner, it's 4-0, his second of the game, a brilliant debut, brilliant start to the season for him. We're going to bring Jana and Esposito on now, and I'll also bring Lozala on for Sazal in that fullback role. Lozala developing nicely in that position, really giving some competition for Sazal, and that again just speaks to how strong the squad is that we've got this season. No real players going out at the end of the season, just a few youngsters who for some reason I managed to get sort of between 20 and 40 million for each of them, and they're not good enough to even make it into our squad. I don't understand what the scouts of other clubs are playing at, but here's Esposito getting a bit of needed game time as he takes it down the right flank, and he's hit that one straight at the Saints goalkeeper. 10 minutes to go. It'd be nice if Jana or Esposito could grab a goal. Umans with a corner, it's gone over. Esposito's header off the crossbar again from Esposito. Need to learn to keep those headers down a little bit. Just a couple of minutes of added time. It's going to be a clear win. It will take us to the top of the league table, and hopefully we can stay there until game 38 as well. Fatty has just hit that one wide of the post as well. But the full-time whistle about to go. A fantastic start to our league campaign and our new season as we absolutely demolish this Southampton team. Now I am just going to have a quick look and show you the transfers that did go out. I forgot to talk this through earlier, but you can see Gary Williams going to Norwich for £42 million. Attacking midfielder, doesn't fit my system. 18 years old, nowhere near worth that money. At Sidarkos as well, left back, decent left back, but nowhere near worth the 30 million that we got for him. Stephen Munns is another one as well, 20 million for this striker. He's a decent striker, he'll be a great player in the future I'm sure, but he was never going to get into our team and never get game time either, but he could be an interesting one to keep an eye on in the future. Now looking at the schedule, we'll take on Porto in the UEFA Super Cup next, but then after that, especially looking at the games we've got, we may not come back until the second half of the season, because I think we just need to absolutely run through these matches and start to move forward until we get to the business end of the season and start getting through these seasons in sort of 4 or 5 episodes instead of 10. So I'll see you at the UEFA Super Cup in a minute to see if we can win another piece of silverware. Well, a few changes to the team for this match against Porto. We're going to start with Esposito and Kane up top, our best 2 strikers. Umans continues on the right with Fatty on the left, then it's Bellingham and Daniel in the central midfield. Bernard is fit enough to start at left back. We're also bringing Diaz for Kenner as well, with Lozala coming in for Sazal, who's got a thigh strain, so Lozala needs to start as well. Malungu continues in goal, and I'm expecting us to blow this Porto team out of the water today and win this trophy for the first time, I think, in the club's history. Well, yeah, it would be for the first time in the club's history. It's not the strongest of Porto teams. I'm not entirely sure how they managed to win the Europa League with the calibre of teams that are in that competition. Strong Premier League teams, strong Italian teams as well. But somehow Porto managed to win it, so we do need to be careful because of that, as Bernard sends this one long. Esposito brings it down. Fatty has cannoned that one off the woodwork. Again we strike the woodwork, but this time the luck is with us and Fatty deservedly gets his first goal of the season, and what a goal it is as well. Good to see the long throws coming back to the goal scoring, and Fatty, what an effort. Keeper left rooted to the spot as Fatty cannoned that off the underside of the bar. Keeper probably didn't even see it, and we've got that lead, which will give us a huge amount of confidence going forward. Now I feel like this Spurs team is one of those teams where you need to get a really good run of victories going in order to build up that mental fortitude and resilience to go on for a big title push, and also just to counter the bottle job nature of Spurs, because obviously if you've got a 30-point lead, you're not going to bottle that league, or it would be remarkable if you did. But we are bottling this final as Thomas Butnick has just hit that in the bottom corner, or Thomas Wheatink has just hit that into the bottom corner. Rodrigo Volante had the ball, he played it across, Peter headed it down, chest from Butnick, he shouldn't have been allowed to control that, and he snapped it in to that bottom corner for 1-1. So not great from the team to concede like that. We've got a free kick in a good area though. Bellingham's going to take it. He is good on these, and it's off the woodwork, and Esposito gets the rebound. His first goal of the season. We immediately get the lead back here in the European Super Cup final. Again, hitting the woodwork. Bellingham to Esposito. I don't know if that was a shot or a cross from Bellingham, but either way, it led to the right result. And we are now 2-1 up against Porto. And we should go on to really capitalise on that and get a few more goals in. There's not too many players that I recognise in this Porto team now. Obviously, Sergi Roberto's in there at right back. I think they've got William Carvalho on the bench, potentially as well. But they've got Lite here, playing the ball back to Shagari. They're just looking to work it forward through the centre. This might be Naby Keita there. On to Rodrigo Volante. He attacks down the right, pulled back to Sergi Roberto Bernard with the tackle. And they've done it again. Rodrigo Volante there, beating Malungu at his near post. Question marks about Malungu. That was obviously Onana's big issue, was being beaten at his near post. So we're going to have to watch Malungu here and make sure he isn't getting the same problem. Rodrigo Volante though, Malungu's not even looking the right way. He's looked to his right there as if he was expecting the far post effort. But I don't think you can excuse being beaten at your near post like that. So not an ideal start by the team or by Malungu in this final. A little bit of concern about the way we're playing here. Roberto puts the ball in. Easy clearance for Navarro. Now Oumans can counter. He plays it over the top for Kane. Ball in behind for Esposito is a good one. He's rounded the keeper, and Sebastiano Esposito is an absolute goal machine as he finishes that one to make it 3-2. Third time we've taken the lead in this game. Kane with a beautiful ball in behind, and Esposito, wonderful control, touch past the keeper, and then a finish inside the near post once he's got round him for 3-2. But we need to actually hold on to this lead now. Make sure we don't give it up for no reason. We've got a few players that we might want to think about rotating out. We've got Bernard at left back, Daniel and Bellingham in the centre. There's Pete Oumans as well out on the right flank potentially with 20 minutes left to go in this game. But they've got a corner. Rodrigo Volante puts it in and Ruben Dias just heads it away. So Sergio Roberto's giving it up. Fati now to Bernard. Plays it over the top and Harry Kane is in behind. He plays it over and it's cleared away, but Oumans on the volley has hit the crossbar. Very close to another goal there. I'm going to bring Amberi on. It'll be his first appearance this season. We'll also bring on Duane Codlon for his first appearance as well. We are still in control of this game. Just a little bit nervous about a few players here. So we take Fati off for David Neres. The beauty of signing Oumans as well means that we can bring David Neres on in his preferred position as backup for Fati on the left flank. Navarro does well cutting that one out. Now Malungu under a bit of pressure finds Bernard. Goes down the wing to David Neres, fresh. Plays it into Esposito, who's on a hat-trick, and he's just put that one over the bar, going for that top corner, not quite getting it right. Malungu with the ball now, well recovered. He plays it forward. Kane's brought it down, finds Esposito. Beautiful touch past the keeper. And again, denied the hat-trick by the goalkeeper. Trying to kill the game here, trying to get his hat-trick, but it's just not quite working as Ruben Dias flashes that one past the far post as well. But time nearly up here. Luzala with a long throw goes into the box, and Shagari happy to come and claim it. Just holding on to it before sending it long down the right flank. Header goes on and it's Buitnik. Now he's tackled and Amberi can play in Esposito again. He's going to struggle to get a hat-trick from that position, but he might try. Takes it to the byline, beats the defenders, and instead unselfishly picks out David Neres, who does make it 4-2. And we have that nice 2-goal advantage now. Esposito doing well on that right flank and then just dinking it in when he gets to the byline. Beautifully done. David Neres with a very simple header. He just had to make sure he kept it down, otherwise it was an open net for 4-2, and the title is in our bag now on the plane home. And there you go. We get to lift the European Super Cup. First time Spurs have ever done that. We're shattering all of the records and giving Spurs their best period of success, probably in the club's history, as we make it another piece of silverware to add to our collection. So that's pretty good going, really. We get a bit of money for it. And if we have a look at that Hall of Fame, we are now the greatest English manager of all time. So that's one thing knocked off. We've just overtaken Bob Paisley. If we have a look at the Hall of Fame for the continent, we are now up to 5th. And I imagine that's probably the same worldwide. Yeah, we're up now above Bob Paisley, above Trapattoni, with 2,732 points. That European Super Cup worth a couple of hundred, so worth making sure we keep going for that if we win more Champions League titles. But we now just need to hunt down these teams that are ahead of this, these managers that are ahead of us. 2,300 points to go. Now, I'm not sure where we will pick up next time. It kind of depends on how the start to the league season goes. There's not too many big games. We've got Chelsea, United, Arsenal, then City. But it could well be that we go up maybe to this Liverpool game or even into January, because I'm not expecting too many problems in the Champions League. But if problems do occur, we will check back in and do another episode. But if you enjoyed that start to the season, make sure you do drop a like down below. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. But until next time, see ya.